Good morning, everybody, and I wanted to thank everybody who joined. I am assuming a few people maybe from the because it's a part two, like how we have a movies, no part one, part two kind of it. So this was a part two of having a beyond retirement and the retirement legacy planning. The reason was it was a quite a detailed version which I'm going to take today on an Excel based, where when you created the full corpus, how the payment will come on you month on month, like how you get it as a salary, or you can say the annuity or something. So for benefit for other people who have not joined first session, I'm going to have a fast forward maybe in first 15 minutes to recap the first part of it, and then I will try to take the what is today's session is on cash flow, because this is the one thing which we have to all understand very clearly. The cash flow do matters because that's actual money. So sometimes I was taking a training last week on how the evolution of financial modeling and other things from the last 300 years, and then it realized that when we are talking about financials, we'll say okay, company is in a profit of, let us say, 5 crore or 100 crore, 500 crore, whatever number, but where is the money? So that is very important. Maybe we have accrued, it means we have yet to get it the money, but it is not there in our books. So it is there in a financial book, but not in our bank books. So sometimes cash flow is actually where the money is and how the money will flow when you really need it. It is that's where is important part of it. So taking forward, I am just talking about retirement planning. And that word, I was speaking to another customer, he is 64, and I said okay, we will talk about retirement planning and all, and he says no, this is a very negative statement, Rachna, because I feel I'm very young and I am not called myself, and I don't feel happy to call retired. So I said that's a very nice thing. So he says okay, we should say that regular income planning, or I wanted a regular income then a retirement, and that's the one thing I learned. So I prefer to have a regular income. So the person need not to retire. He is retiring maybe from a corporate or a day-to-day life work or 9 to 5 kind of work, but he still have his job what he loves to do, and that's where I always say as a person is actually going to be in a regular payout mode. So for me, retirement planning is a regular payout mode. The person can be 20 years old or 30 years old or 60 years old. It can be anybody, because I remembered at least with Anil very clearly, and that's what it says. He said that he wanted to retire at 30, and it was very, very tough. Good, bad, ugly. He is my husband also, so I knew him very well. So we all went so many places to say that how to get an alternative income at 30, and I'm talking about, I think so, 97 or 98. And wherever we went, it was like that. There is no pension plans, there is no plans which will give you the annuity or regular payout at 30. And I still remember we took the pension plans, but because the minimum pension plan was allowed only at 45 and plus, so we have to create our, of course, his, that is his passion. So he started making his corpus and made sure that in case if Right Horizon or his company doesn't do good, so we will be getting a regular payout, whatever is required for our lifestyle. And that's where he retired. He created a corpus maybe 5 years early than what he thought of, and he started Right Horizon in 2003. And good thing is that he gave a 5 years plan, and 5 years, God grace, it went well. So I joined it him instead of he joining to the corporate level. So indirectly, I'm trying to say here is not what is a retirement age. Age is just a number. It is how you get an alternative income or a regular income apart from you. So you are able to focus what you love to do, then what should do, or maybe you are in a pressure to create a family comfort and you are doing what may not like to do. So I am going to talk about why retirement corpus and retirement is becoming one of the biggest and I can say the topmost priority for everybody. So when we do financial planning, we actually nowadays stop we are going to have a one more section called only retirement planning instead of financial planning, because most of the people are coming only for retirement planning, or we can say the alternative income plan, or annuity planning, or whatever, because they are saying that, Rachna, I don't want it to do the 9 to 5 job, or I am not liking what I am. I have got a lot of corpus from PF, PPF, retirals. You take this and give it to me 2 lakhs a month or 1.5 lakh a month. So that is what I require. And that is becoming one of the key things what we have been getting on a average quite high. So how you should do that part of it. So I was doing quite a lot of research on how the numbers comes, what are the golden ratios people do it and across. So that's where I'm going to talk about. Of course, we have been doing for last maybe 12 years, 15 years, where we have started doing a payout for a lot of customers for last, at least my personal customer whom I'm managing itself is last 12 years, we are paying a monthly basis. So that's what we are going to do. So it's very important part of it, how to take care of your retirement corpus and not to erode that. That is the one thing which I am going to speak. And because I have seen most of the time, the people thought is that no, it's a very far off. So, okay, let me take this money and go for a higher vacation because when I'm old, I may not be able to do, which is very true. But you should have alternative things, or you should have a way of removing money. It may impact my regular income also. So most of the Indians are not ready for retirement. This is what I have to focus across, because we are very much sure that okay, we can do it later, or our kids will take care, or we will be able to do the another way, which people says that by the time we retire, we will able to adjust. I have seen most of the time, and that's what my belief is, people cannot change the lifestyle. So somebody asked me, if you get 100 crore, what you will do? I said, I'll do the same thing. What I will do different? There's nothing else I can do, because that's a lifestyle is of the people is. So it's easier, and try to manage what is your lifestyle and what is required to continue the same lifestyle. That is what is important in this part of it. I'm going to go forward this percentage because I'm assuming you have been there in the part one. This is a part one series. So this is another thing which I wanted to focus on. Most of the time, people, when they do the making a investment overall level, they never do the inflation linked. So I was having a person who told me, Rachna, I have done my pension plan and I'll be able to take care because I need only 50,000 rupees a month. And when I started doing things, so I was telling, that if I'd start, because even though you are getting retired, but inflation is going to continue. So if you are trying to do that, 50,000 will be equivalent of today will be around, let us say 20-25K. So you have to make sure how you continue the same thing. That's a one way of inflation, which most of the time people, when they do themselves, they don't realize it to add the inflation. Second thing is the lifestyle. Over the period, the lifestyle has been changing quite a lot. And I'm sure all of us can easily see abroad and see that the way we are being buying is totally different, where we are spending. I was watching another video. I'm not sure you all have got it or seen. There is a Apple 15 ad that how they are going to make it a mother nature, a carbon print free. And then somebody said me, yeah, that's a way we should have. We should buy a 1.5 or 1.7 lakhs mobile. And I was thinking, oh my God, somebody is ready to buy. Of course, they have a brand or whatever. So I'm trying to say we have never thought of that. People are waiting to get released and buy 1.7 or 1.8 lakhs of mobile, which is a very non I can say now it is in this I have written only 50,000 now. And people are making that again and again, so it is a repeatable, where the 14 has come, then 15 has come, and they will also have their own things that something doesn't work in a previous version, so you have to upgrade. So those things in a lifestyle you have to make sure when you are looking across, then are just part of it. So that's a second point I'm trying to say, that apart from inflation, just try to take care of the what I call lifestyle. This I have done it. So I'll just go forward how the process works because after process only I'll take a cash flow. How to make sure that your retirement goals are very clear. The retirement goals, when we are trying to talk about, is not what you mean that how you need to create a corpus or something. It's a part of it. First, setting a target is, for example, I just finished 50. I wanted to work till, let us say, 58. So I'll say I wanted to retire at 58. You will say that I wanted, I'm talking about myself, so I required around 1 lakh or 1 lakh 25, 1.25 lakhs per month. So I will just say this is the amount as on today I want it. Second is how you assess the current financial position. So I will say that to me, I have my PF, PPF, X amount, maybe 50 lakhs, 100, 1 crore or something. I have invested in my two pension plans, or I may have a rental income. Like that, you will try to see what you have already done it to towards the retirement goal. Then you will find what are the different sources you have it for retirement. Olden days, a lot of people used to do it is the alternative income by rental or pension plans or an FD interest. These are the very common thing you will find it. But these three things are not, if you look more, are tax efficient. Now you have to start looking tax efficiency. Previously, when I see my parents and all, there was a not thought much on a tax efficiency, and the interest rates were very, very high. So now if you go and get it an FD, FD will be around 6.5, and when you do post tax, it will become 4 only. So which is not serving you because your inflation is 6%. So you have to start identifying what are my identify in rental income or my retirement income. It can be your rental, it can be corpus where you get the interest, or then you can have an interest, you can have talks about annuity, which is one part should be always as a fix, which I always say you should have a good annuity plans. It can be through NPS or it can be through your insurance regular premium payment ones, which I think so last year went very high because till 5 lakhs and above it was tax free, but still you can buy if you don't have it, because still 5 lakhs is tax free, which is giving around 6.5%. Taking care of next 25 years is another one way. These are the things you should start looking across. Evaluate the retirement risk. That's another questions a lot of people have to see, that what are the risk is involved on those things. Okay, very important part of it. So we should see what is a debt, what is a hybrid, what is equity, and what we can try to take care of it. Very, very important is healthcare issues. Please make sure that you have an alternative health plan. Coincidentally, I 10 days back, one of the customer was having a corporate months, and I always say that it is good we can have a corporate and do, but we should have a one personal also. We don't know. So he got maybe he resigned or he asked to leave the company because of their own company's issues or maybe the IT things issues, and their one of the spouse, sorry, one of the family member, I think so, is a parent, if I'm not wrong, um, met with an accident, gone for the hospitalization, and the bill came around 4 lakhs odd. They didn't have a health cover because most of the time, as soon as you quit the corporate, your corporate health cover also expired. So that's another thing I keep saying, that retirement is not only when you're retiring, it is linked to your, in case if you're out of your corporate also, how to handle those things. But yes, some of the good corporate do have it that when you're quitting, you can transfer to individual. If that is there, you should do it. Anytime, make a point before leaving, you have an alternative health cover. That's another tip I can give it to you. But yes, it's a very, very important. I was talking to one of the CFO of the very good health cover company, and their mother was 84, and he was trying to say the same thing. The problem is here is that our lives style has, or you can say, is becoming too much because we have so much options in our medical science, but our quality of lives are going very, very down because we are being living on medicines or the tablets. So yes, sometimes it is true, So make sure that you think about a longevity at least till 80, 85. I'll take that word later. But take care of health care, health insurance. The best and good news for all of us is nowadays the health insurance comes in a top up very, very reasonable and cheap. You can take a 50 lakhs a health cover with a base of 5 lakhs and 45 top up, or base of 10 lakhs and 90 lakhs top up. So these are the things which you can take care. Please do invest your retirement assets, no doubt about it. A lot of people will say, okay, no, I don't want it to take risk or something, I will go ahead with the maybe FDs, MIS, or the GPO, NSCs. Those things you have to see how you have to take care of retirement assets. Every time this three concept never change. Try to evaluate any investment you do, what is a post tax, post inflation, and how long, the longest time it has been giving you the returns. Manage your income. That is what today's my topic is, and how we do it through cash flow. I'm going to do 7 and 8. So today my topic is on 7 and 8. So this is where another things which I have been telling, and I love this, that discipline is the one thing which will make you peace of mind with a sleep properly. I can tell you, when you are looking forward for a single focus, and make sure that your corpus is being created good for the retirement. So this is a Warren Buffett's, I can say, the best quote I like. There are two quotes which I will read again. Successful investing take time, discipline, and patience. No matter how great the talent or effort, something just take time. You can't produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant. This is very, very true, because most of the time people will say, okay, this corpus has created big Rachna, why don't I remove and do something else? And I keep saying, whenever I am doing, I'm actually mapping this in an Excel with a retirement. I know there's nothing written on the money that this has to be on retirement or not, but my cash flow will impact if you remove, because the eighth wonder of the world is power of compounding. If you are removing the profit, my overall level of the corpus creation at the time of your retirement may change. So try to understand, even though you feel it is a longer term for a retirement or a regular payment, I will use the word, please don't try to fiddle around with the retirement things money because you think it is long term we can manage. We think it is we can manage. When I am talking with many people, every time, not a one single time, people have told me ki why I didn't meet you before, because it says I'm too late to create that. So I'm giving you simple mathematics here. Most of the time people comes to us is only between 35 and 40, and they wanted to get retired by 55. So you can think of, they're in a peak of their career where they're trying to say, we have 15 years to invest, take care of the kids education, kids regular whatever schooling fees and all your EMIs. And on an average, if they're retiring at 55 till 85, they have to get a regular payout, which is you are investing for 15 years and you want a payout for 30 years. You can think of how much you should pay now to make sure that you get the payout that time. And when you think of a mathematics, it is very, very difficult. I always believe it's not that all goals and emotions can come in the numbers or Excel, but always number speaks. So fact is a best way to look at. So I will just go part of this, how to make sure. This is again very important. So I will just try to speak here. Whenever you're thinking of retirement planning or you're looking for alternative income, make sure you have a family budget, okay, which should take care of your health cover in case your EMI something is still pending. Make sure that is also added in your monthly income, and then you pay till you are taking care of that. Kids education, wedding, your goals are being taken care. All those part has to be considered in case you are going into the payout mode. Make sure your capital risk is not there when you're earning the income. So because you can take a risk when you're earning, you go for a higher risk and slowly you start reducing your risk part of it. most of the time we don't consider inheritance. Okay, I'm talking about getting from your parents or something. Of course you can make a will for giving to the next generation, but if you get it, you can start putting into the will, what you call, in your cash flow. But till the money has not come to you, we don't add it in an inheritance, because it's a parents or anybody's free will. If they want, they can give it to anybody. So most of the time, we always tell not to consider inheritance till it comes to you. Do you have a adequate corpus to meet in a family budget? This question is again very important. Keep coming in things, but in a US, people will say it's a 4% golden rule, but I believe in a, at least I do it at a 6% to 7% golden rule. Whatever is your corpus, you can think of 7% divided by 12. That should be coming to you on an average. If you have given to the yourself or you have given to the advisor to manage that, because they will be able to take care of equity debt balance, and then they will be able to give you at least 7% to 8% return, and you can take 7% as a monthly part of it and 1% on an overall level. Please try to factor the rising cost, which is the inflation. This is tips I can give it on retirement planning, where you should have a contingency or emergency fund 3 to 6 months of living in your bank FDs or a debt. Very good health cover for next taking care of your health. Insurance health is very important. Take always insurance when you are young, because your, I can say, the premium is down. Maximize the provident fund. Most of the time, like you have a PF, you have, I always tell, if you have given an option in your office to take a 12%, please do take care, because that's a good thing. In that way you are getting tax free around 8.1%, and it will help you in creating a good cover also. I don't know you are aware, this has been subsidized by the government, and that's why we are getting 8.1. Why don't you utilize those? Take care of loans. Try to reduce how much loans you can before you retire. Otherwise, you have to make sure EMI in the cash flows. Look always back post tax. Rationalize, reduce, and simplify life. So you will surprise to know, most of the time people comes to me for retirement planning. The one of the major part is, Rachna, I don't have a time so much to have meet two people, three people, or manage it. I want to have a simplified life. So I want all the investment in one place, one thing. So you just take care of all of them, because I don't want it to go two to three people and then see this place, that place, that place. So that's another thing which I have realized it, like a, so many people had a 4 or 5 bank statements or banks accounts. So they wanted to keep it to one or two. So some things people don't wanted to do is a simplification is a very big key for a retirement planning also. So I'm just going, these are the statistics what I have taken from the JP Morgan, and I think so is a EY data which is done. What are the most important part when you're making a legacies? These are the try to have, make sure that you have written a what you call will, how to document it. Please do that. I feel that's a very, very important part of it. Write a will, health drive, durable, a person on an attorney, or this is of course in the US I have written, but you should make sure that who is an executor of the will. So most of the time people normally make a family friend or a financial professions. Planning for a legacy, as I told you, that you make sure that what is your retirement goals and what are the basic lifestyle. I have already explained it, so I will just go part now for taking care of the cash flow. So I, please tell me if you are able to see my Excel. So these are the 4 things which I have already told. Take care of inflation, market, health, and longevity. Longevity, I'll just tell one word here. We take it till 85 in our cash flows, but this number can be changed. And I feel, as a concept wise or genetic wise, they always says you should see your mother's side, whichever your grandparents or parents or great grandparents has lived the natural death. So if they have lived till 90, actually your genetic longevity is 90. So you can take a cash flow till there also. Please let me know you can see my Excel.
Yes, ma'am, we can see.
Okay. So I'm going to, this is a live customer data. Of course, I've removed the names and all, but I'm trying to explain how we do it. So the customer as of today has come to us and said that, okay, I wanted to retire from tomorrow and tell me how I can manage it. So this is the Excel we have given. This is the age we have put, and then we have told his life expectancy, as I told you. We have taken till 90. You can change this number depending on your genetics or your grandparents and parents level. This is the another point I wanted to bring it out. If I am doing for a spouse, means for a family, we take the younger person, like a husband age is 55 and wife is 51. So I'll take wife's 51 till 85, the younger person till 85 years. So that's the way we try to make sure that both the sides are being considered till 85. Inflation we have taken at 6%. I will come back to this, how the real rate of return works. In a simple term, this is the formula which says that I have taken a expected return at 8 and inflation at 6. That is why if you see that the formula says that 8 minus 6 divided by 1 plus 6 percentage is the formula. But indirectly in your mind, you can think of I'm getting an 8% and 6% is going. So approximately my real rate of return, which is in a normal term people call RRR. It's not RRR movie. It is a real rate of returns. What is to be your portfolio is going to take care of it. So this person wanted 1.5 lakhs a month. Because this customer was asking 1.5 immediately, so we have considered payout as a 1.5 only. But if the customer is come, I'm just giving example, he's come to 55 and he says, okay, Rachna, I wanted a payout from 60. Then what normally we'll do it, we will do the future value of 1.5 lakhs, and then we will see how much corpus is required for the 1.5 lakhs. So in this customer, it was a live, as I told you, it's a live customer. So I have taken at 1.5 with the PV FV value. So he told me he has a 5 CR. How much can I continue or not? So I remembered we were doing there we can do play around quite a lot and see that. So when we started with 2 lakhs, he required around 5.49 crore to make sure that he has to get 2 lakhs equivalent inflation linked till age of 85 month on month. But he was having only 5 lakhs. So we says, okay, we can make it 1.75 if we want. I'm just trying to say you can play around in this, or 1.5 lakhs. So he says I was doing a little bit on a higher side, so I will go ahead with the 1.5. So when we are doing this cash flow, we quite a lot play around for 2-3 things on how much, because this payout number you have to realize is getting inflated, and that number is mind boggling when I'm going to show you now that 1.5 today, maybe I can tell you when you are 70 it will be equivalent to 3 to 4 lakhs per month. Okay, so that is a very important, because this is getting quite a high compounding on the inflation based. Second thing is, you can say we normally take 50-50 on a moderate when we are started payout as a 50-50%. So it is like I'm assuming somebody is having 12% taking care of equity, which will give you around 6%, and debt will take care of 3%. So approximately your, I think the portfolio grows at 8.5 to 9%. But on a safer side, as I told you, you can take a 7% of the whatever value and divide and start giving you what should be your amounts, because a lot of people will come other way around, that I have 4 lakhs, how much I can get per month. You can go vice versa also, like he wants a 1.5, how much I should have it, or if I have it 3 crore, how much I will get it. So if it is 3 crore, you can just do depending on, so I'm just giving example here. So I'm trying to do play around in front. So if somebody says I have 3 crore, I'll say 7% and divided by 12, he will get 175. So that's a way you can play around on this also, depending on what is the corpus you have it. This customer had a 5 CR, so we had able to make it a much more amount for him than what is required. Another thing is when that customer, so let me say here, he wanted a 2.5 lakhs, for example, or 2 lakhs, I thought, let us say, because that's what I remember. So, and he has around 4 lakhs, 4 crore, and he need a 5.5 crore, for example, if I need this. So, another way is we call a step up retirement planning. So, in a step up retirement planning, in a cash flow is taken care only every 5 years we add the value as inflation. We don't add a monthly inflation in that part. So this is what I will show you here. If he is looking at 2 lakhs a month, so can you see my sheet called cash flow?
Yes, ma'am, we can see that.
So if you see the 7th row, which says that I want a 2 lakhs a month, I am not changing for a 5 years. The green line says that I am changing only 5th year. The talking about 2 lakhs has become 2.5. Then next 5 years, I am continuing with 2.5, and then I will check it as a 3 lakhs. So it is called step up approach. I am not putting my inflation every year. And if I continue this, I need only 4 crores. If I do inflation every year, I require 5.5 crores. So that is another approach. We can take it sometime where we do a step up inflation linked every 5 years, or you can decide every 4 years, depending on the customer, and see is it you are able to manage with a higher payout, and if the corpus is less. That's another level we always try to do that part of it. So I'll go back to the cash flow, which is very important. So anytime when we have a cash flows, you have to start realizing this is your number, what you call date we are doing. So this continue till 85. You can add it till whatever number you want. Then we can take an inflation, how you are taking inflations. So here that customer has asked for the 5%. So I have taken a 5. So every year 5 is going on. So if you see that this is the net present value will come. And this 7 is when somebody is trying to put it across. I am trying to tell is step up based, how to take care of it. So I'll just show you one thing. It's called divided by 12. So what I was trying to explain you that in a 5 year itself, it will become 2.5. So in 10 years, the same 2 lakhs is becoming 3 lakhs. When you are at 70, it is becoming almost like a 5.5 lakhs. The 2 lakhs is becoming 5.5 lakhs a month basis. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's very important to make sure that inflations are being taken care of. This is the one of the thing. Then we started giving what are the person's different avenues for this. So here I have hidden quite a lot of things. Like this customer didn't have it, that's why I've hidden. Otherwise, we will say if he is having a let us say insurance where the annuity will come, or he is having a rental where the rental will come. All those things we will add it and then we minus it. So this customer was a fresh new, he didn't have anything, he just put all his retirement money into our fund, where we called a fund called Alliance for Us, where we give it, and a PMS where we give it to them, take care of the payouts. So what we have done it here, we are putting 50% into debt and 50% into the equity. In this equity, of course, we will have a hybrid. That's a different question. So this is the another things you have to realize every time. There are a few concepts we run here is, if we are doing a retirement planning or a payout, next 3 years of his payout should be always in a debt. So because when we taking in a market cycle, 3 to 3.5, it can be bare. So you have to make sure, you can't say the market is low, I can't give a payout, correct? So you have to make sure the bucket what we are making for him a safety way or reducing the risk is, he always have the money always in a debt. All payouts will always happen from debt only. There is no way that any payouts throughout will go other than the debt. That's the second concept we always run. Another one is, we started now to have, if you want an average tax, you can say, and whatever you are paying out can be tax, post tax also. Or what we do it on an actuals. Whenever the tax comes, you take it from the portfolio and take care of that. That's a two ways of looking in a actual tax on the cash flow versus a redeeming, because when you're redeeming, sometimes is a principal plus interest. But that is the another concept when we go for a cash flow. So other things, when you see how we do a balances when we doing a cash flow, what was a requirement? So customer requirement is 24 or a 2 lakhs a month, which is 24 lakhs. And how much I am withdrawing? So any point of a time, the requirement should always match the withdrawal. So that is the another things we always try to see how to take care when we are doing a cash flow. So now if you see here, there is not matching both of them. Why it is not matching? It means that my debt to equity ratios are going to realign. So every 5 years, we are going to realign. So if you see first year, it's called 0 year. We have done 50-50. And then we will be keep doing the debt to equity realignment. So that is the second part. The green line, wherever I have made it, is the time where we have to realign. You can change anytime. We normally do it in a fourth or fifth year, but you can make sure whoever either you are doing or your advisor is doing, what is the timeline you wanted to realign. So, but 3 to 5 year is a good time because you have a good one side of a bull to take care of it. Okay. So we have understood the concept called all payouts have to happen on the debt, which is, it can be bonds, it can be insurance, it can be your, I'm just trying to say, debt mutual funds. It can be any side or bank FDs. You have to make sure that is called debt. You have to make sure every time your requirement should always match your payouts. That's a second point. Third point, we start looking what is a debt and equity ratios. And debt and equity ratios has to be taken care, at least we in this cash flow I've taken in 5 years, but you can take care on fourth year or whatever year you wanted to make sure. Don't make so much changes, then it impact your even taxation and other things. So 5 years is a good amount normally to take care. That is the thing. So which we come as a rebalancing part of it on the debt and equity ratios. So if you see here, we make a file where we says that what is a starting 0 year, then 5, 10, 15, 30, 35, how the your debt and equity ratios are moving across, what is a portfolio values starting with, and how much you have paid to the customer. So that is another things we have to start looking across to overall part of it. Okay. So I'll just go here. I think so I've changed that. So it is showing as a negative part also. So when I am doing a cash flow, I will be doing payout, how to take care of it, how to make sure my debt and equity ratios are taken care. never give the, as I told you here, if you are able to give this much of money, it is coming within, very good. Otherwise, you have to do step up. Correct? That is another level we have to start looking across. So I'll just showing now how the graph movement works. So this is that asset allocation on debt and equity ratios will be coming across. This is my debt component. This is my equity PMS. For this customer is equity PMS for us. What is my debt and equity percentage is going and how my equity is going. This is trying to say how my retirement corpus is growing even when my withdrawals are there. These are my withdrawals. So he started with 5, with how it is increased, and your payouts had also been increased. And what is the last? My terminal value is going to be the portfolio value. Okay. Then this graph is talking about debt and equity ratios, how you see over the period the debt should increase and equity should decrease. I'm just playing around now, so I think so it has gone higher here, but I'm saying that's the way it should be. It decreases over the period and debt keep increasing. So we normally go till 80. And this is the portfolio value, how it is going to be on a debt and equity side. With this, I stop my presentation and I'll be happy to take up questions.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for sharing valuable insights. I think we are already having few questions in the chat box and Q&A section. We can take it.
Okay.
Also, I would like to request all the participants to put their queries and question in the Q&A section. Or if you are having any question, you can raise your hands. We will allow you to talk and discuss the same.
This question is coming for an Excel to sheet. Yes, I can send the template, but this is a live story, live cash flow, so I won't be able to send that. But yes, what Excel we use for as a template, I will be able to send that part of it, empty one. Where we have this Excel, of course, this is ours. So it's a proprietary, but there's nothing called proprietary. I believe it's your knowledge works. It's anybody can make an Excel template. So I will send it across. Okay. PF interest is taxable if more than 2.5. So PF is yes, not only that, overall 7.5 lakhs and above it goes. So it will be taxable. So I always believe. So you should make sure that you don't cross it as becoming a taxable, but at least utilize, because I know somebody, because they have an 1800, so their corpus is also creating very less because they have an option to take just 1800. Okay. Yes, Madhu, it may be a mistake because I was on spot. I was just doing the date and check, because it may be now date formula. But the step up is practical. The Kaushik has said where we can have this Excel. The step up is very possible because for customer I am doing on step up based, and rest of it I have around 18 customer whom I am doing a payouts. And out of 18, I think so 4 is on step up and rest is of course on inflation linked. I can tell you it depends on it because they are asking 2 lakhs, 2.5 lakhs, and that may not be enough. But you will realize when you play around with Excel. I think so last time when Sanjay has already sent, but this Excel where calculation is there, even if you reduce even 10,000 a month, your corpus reduce very drastically because the compounding is being taken care of. So step up is also very valid, and they are able to manage very, very well. Uh, could you we see the input sheet? Yes, you can see the input sheet, and I will send the Excel where you can calculate yourself. How do SWP taxation work? So SWP is like a, I can say you are trying to say the amount wise on a month you are giving it. So when you are getting a file, if you see your SOA or a statement, it have a principal also and interest also. The interest what is given is a taxable. So that's the reason I told you it's not okay to, for me, the whatever you are getting, I'm taking 20% taxation. It is always beneficial to do on actuals. So what we have been doing for most of the customer, all the advanced tax payment if it is higher, or they wanted to take care from a portfolio, we take care, and the tax what it comes we take care. So we don't write the tax on the payment time, because payment is sometimes principal also. Can you share the investment plan based on the corpus that we have? Everybody have a different, Sanjay, on investment. So I can say you, when somebody is coming for me for a retirement, they may have a kids education, especially in this time when I'm doing kids education, going abroad is also including us. It's like our daughter has gone, so it is quite high. So when I'm looking for a retirement, I always tell a people that you tell what is the amount you're looking for investment, and then you take care of it. So you can do either ways. What we do it in a alliance we called, which is, we for us it is alliance is like a pension plan which is inflation linked, flexible, and able to do it. But you, anybody can do themselves, that you can divide into three buckets, where one bucket is debt fund bucket, or debt, it can be a gold, it can be FDs, it can be debt funds, or whatever you can see debt, where you will make sure that 3 years your amount is there. Rest is your hybrid, and the last but not the least is your what you call equity. So every 5 years you move from equity to hybrid, hybrid to debt, and that circles keeps going on till you do it. So most of the people will say because that is around 20 odd stocks, it's difficult. So similar concept works in alliance, and we take care of internally that part of it. But you can easily do it yourself. There's nothing to worry about it if you are interested in those. Very excellent knowledge given by ma'am. Learning nothing. Question 2 is why you suggested an increase in equity portion with age. No, it is wrong. That's what I told you. I was playing around with the number. The equity portions normally goes down every 5 years. So I was actually doing on the on spot changes, and that's why it went wrong. Because when I was changing, the realignment is not a, I think so, automated based thing. So when I am doing the changes in my numbers, the realignment also has to be changed. So in this cash flow, what I have it, all other things are linked, but realignment is the keyed number, and that's why the equity portion went high. But you are right, perfectly fine. Every 5 years, the equity keeps going down, and we go till 80-20. The last will be 80 as a debt and 20 as the equity. Until unless a lot of customers start saying that this amount I'm putting for my next generation, and then we will ask for a next generation, then you can go for a higher equity. It is advisable to go to advisor or do it yourself. This question comes to us for almost every time. Being an advisor, I always says, because I was worked in a, I can say in IT side, so I always tell other way around. It's a time, money, and energy. So when we used to give a proposal there, they will say is a fixed bid or the TNM. It's time and money. So it makes the same things, that if you are doing yourself, let us say you're spending 5 hours or 8 hours to understand the research, doing your things yourself in a month, let us say 5 hours. So you just do your salary divided by 22 divided by 8, and that amount into how many hours you are giving, until unless it's your passion. And that amount is you can utilize for some other basic thing or better thing, then do it. If you feel that you can liking it cross, then you do it yourself. Otherwise that amount you can utilize on a better way and give it to the advisor. But I always says advisor is a better option when the corpus start becoming a bigger. That's what we have seen. The reason is for an advisor, and you, if you have a passion, I always tell people you should do it yourself, because that's what you love it. But the difference between advisor and you is the emotions. So it's like a doctor doesn't do the operation for the their own relatives, because the emotions comes into picture. The same thing when you are started managing your own fund, you will start saying, okay, I should not exit on negative, or I should not exit because you think it will do good. You know that most of the people, because I am in Wipro and Infi on the time when we all got at a good ESOPs, when I speak with a lot of people, they have who was managing their ESOP, they didn't never make the money, because they will say, okay, I know inside it will do good, 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 and it keep going down. But when it is managed by third person, they have done a trigger and then they did good. So depends on your own interest. You should decide. Advisor, normally I feel you should do when your corpus is becoming a little bigger. So you don't want your knowledge or your emotions come into picture because of that. Okay. Uh, what are the charges for doing a financial planning? We charge one time at 15,000 rupees, and rest is you can do it yourself or you can ask us to do. I don't know about others. I can tell you about Right Horizons. Normally, as per SEBI, a customer can be a distributor or customer can be an advisor. It's a 1% fee. So if I'm managing your 1 crore, I will be having a 1 lakh of fees. Recording, yes. Manoj, I think so. We will be sending recording. Sanjay will be taking care of that. What should be the percentage of investment on hybrid debt and equity? As I told you, make sure, because if it is a very large sum, then you can change the debt. Otherwise, it is 30, 30, 40. But if it is a very large sum, make sure that 3 years of a debt is there, and then you will be dividing hybrid and debt. Uh, what is the Alliance PMS compared to benchmark? So we can, Sanjay, please give it across. Alliance is having a 3 variations, which we call aggressive, moderate, and conservative. That is our USP, and we believe that's the best thing is doing, because when you are working and this fund is for the, I can say, retirement, so we have kept 70% equity. It's like your hybrid funds. Then when you started payout, we move to the 50-50 within the fund. And as I told you, a realignment, as you cross 70, we start going into 70-30 plus. I am not sure, Madhu, on what is the FIRE framework. I will myself ask Anil and come back to you. Sanjay, please let me know this. I am not sure of FIRE framework. Uh, again, Sanjay, as a person, I am not sure what you're looking. You want, we will give the Excel and tell you on the how much you should have a corpus. Bigger corpus mean PMS is more than 50 lakhs. A corpus is PMS as a SEBI required 50 lakhs. You can have corpus how much you want. There is nothing wrong in a less or more. Depending on your corpus, you may get it monthly incomes. Yes, Neeraj, we will be sending the recording. Understand better. Please, Excel also have told. FIRE means financially independent, retire early. Yes, as I told very clearly, this is what Anil Rego has also done at the age of 30. Anything else I am missing, Sanjay? Questions?
Ma'am, we have one or two questions in the chat box which will target.
Yeah, sorry. I just saw the question answers. I was looking in a chat box till now. What are included in alternative incomes? See, alternative incomes are quite a lot, and personally, depending, maybe I'm as a person is not a very person who takes a risk. Let me tell you upfront as a disclosure. So alternative incomes comes quite high nowadays. A lot of people do international funds. Okay, they do AIFs quite a lot nowadays. A lot of people started doing a startup funds. Nowadays, you can find it. A lot of people do a REIT, of course, all of those. So these alternative side is been becoming too much. A lot of people will come and say me, okay, crypto or chit funds or other things, which is not been decided. We don't do it, but alternative income people been doing very good in a commodities. They will do it in a startups, VCs. Nowadays, lot of without AIF also. I have keep getting that people can do it investments and all the stuff. People doing international, we have been having a lot of customers. We start doing investment because they wanted the kids to go into the dollar level, so they do let that quite a lot also. So these things can be included if requirement as per the financial plan. Are you assuming the payout from debt? Always, Kaushik. We never do any payout, even if it is 30 year of cash flow from anywhere else than a debt. because we cannot say it is market linked ever, because you can't say that, okay, I'm not giving you money because my market is down. What do you mean by step up? Step up is very clear, where inflation is taken care only after 4 years, or you can do exact amount. For this customer, if you notice, he has moved 2 lakhs to 2.5 every 5 years. So we have not doing a year on year inflation linked for that person.